L22 back with another episode of Passive Play, and you guessed it, American Gladiators is back on the channel, as I said in my last episode. That is if you're watching these in order, which you really should be, but hey. Anyway, this is the Super Nintendo version we're gonna play here. Not my favorite version of this game, but hey, I gotta cover them both. Anyway, you see the two options here, one-on-one, which is the two-player mode. Then you have the tournament, which is what we're going to be doing. Doesn't matter if you go with a girl or guy character, the events are the same, they play the same. But this, I want to point out the music. That is not the American Gladiators theme, clearly. I don't know what that is, but Game Tech botched another one, just like they did with Jeopardy and the Game Boy. I will go ahead and say that I hate one of the events in this game. I'm not going to knock off points for it, though. I'll point out which one it is when that comes up. But first, we have assaults. B enters the stage. I'm trying to remember what I use to pick up the weapon. Get R, I think. Yeah, R picks it up. L sets it down. In this event assault, you get a point for every weapon that you fire successfully. Based on the 91 version of assault, we got 1 point there. Like I said, this is based on the Season 3 assault, where they added in the 1 point per weapon fired thing. And this is the event I hate, everybody. I hate it on the show, and I hate it now. The idea is to knock the gladiator off. Press B to get in your tuck format, but I can never figure out where... I can't read the meters, that's the problem. I've done it maybe once in my life, but I think they did that just for Mode 7. Just for some scaling. And this is my favorite event because it's the one I do the best at. Basically, you use the D-pad to roll into these pods here. You're the blue pod. You're always going to be the blue player if you're player 1. The idea of avoid the gladiators and score as many points in these things as you can. You get a point for each of these pods that the blue pod runs into. Same with the red guy. Every time he sets off one of these sensors inside these red, white, and blue pods, he'll get a point. But you can't roll into the same one twice without triggering another one first. So, for example, if I've already triggered, let's say this one up here, I can't roll back and trigger it again until I trigger another one. Trust me, I tried, I know this. I used to actually be horrible at this event, but I'm not that bad anymore. So anyway, yeah, 1 point per. And the music really does get annoying, and this is the same issue the Genesis version has, where it's not the actual music from the show. I'll just throw that in here again so I don't have to mention that again. So here's Joust. The idea here, knock the gladiator off, you get 10 points for doing that. B in the directional pad will decide what kind of a shot you take. Or give, I should say. The ideal way to do this is to hold right up and B. That's a diagonal slash, which is actually kind of overpowered. This is my favorite kind of slash to use, my favorite thing to do. Of course, I don't get points because I lost that event. And this is Powerball. You get 1 point on the outside cylinders, 2 points on the inside. B removes the ball from the cylinder over here, and also gives the gladiator a stiff arm, which makes it a heck of a lot easier to score. Again, you get 2 points in the center cylinder, 1 point on the outer cylinders. Of course, the rules would change in the later rounds of the show. Like, I believe it went from 2 points on the center cylinder to 5, and then from 1 point to 2 on the outer cylinders as the contenders progress in different rounds. This is going to be the best round of Powerball I've had, though. I like like the looks of the Powerball for it. Definitely matches the way the show looked. In my next event, we have to win this or at least score it. It's a heavy shot in the Eliminator. It's the wall. And this one I've actually had trouble figuring out how to work in the past, but I think I remember now. You're going to use, what is it? It's A and B, I think. A, B, and it's B in the D-pad, I believe. Or A, B, D-pad, I can't remember which it is, but I'm going to follow these little holes here. And obviously I struggled with it, so I'm not getting any points. I'm much better with this when it comes to the Genesis version. I've always been terrible at the Super NES port here. Well, we tried. L and R are going to be the buttons you maneuver around the Eliminator with. I really gotta be careful. Gotta keep my lead as long as I can. I don't have much of one now, but I'm on the line before he is. Press B to jump the hurdles. We want to clear as much of these as we can, and to change lanes, you press B. You want the one that doesn't have the Gladiator in it, and I got a Gladiator, so did he, but I finished first. Let's see what he did. But the thing is, it's going to be the same thing. So we don't need to be redoing anything. So we'll stop the Super Nintendo port right here. This one, we'll see. And we're back with the second half of Pass or Play. And this time we're taking a look at the Genesis American Gladiators. Now there's one major difference here between the two versions. Now the NES version will not be featured since it's too far away from the show for me to even consider, so now, like I explained in the first half, it doesn't matter what gender of player you choose, they don't operate any differently. And the rules to the events are basically the same, so I'm not going to explain them again. Except here, you enter the station by pressing A, or B, I should say. Pick up the weapon by pressing A, aim it with the D-pad, do all that. And it's still 1 point per weapon fire. Of course, what I didn't explain there is if you can get to the end of the course, you get an extra bonus point for a total of 6. We got that shot off before we were hit, so it's 4 points. Joust is next. As you can tell, the big difference, Human Cannonball is not here, thank goodness. And there's your only difference between the male and the female players in this game. The females have a different costume and longer hair, that's about it. Ice we're facing. Could also be lace from the costume. Alright, I'm gonna see who we're facing next. This is Atmosphere coming up, I believe. That's the wall already. Against Gold, rest in peace, and Blaze, one of my personal favorites. Now, the way that this works is different from the SNES port. You just use... We're trying to remember how to do this. Never struggled with this. It's A and B, okay. I haven't played this in forever, so give me a break. I barely made it up, too. So we get 5 points for making it up second. We're still in the lead by 3 after 3 events. This is Atmosphere. And we're going against Gold again. And Zap this time. Now you'll go against different gladiators, hopefully, in every event. This is one of those rare times where I've actually seen the same gladiator Gold in two different events, 2 back-to-back events. Now again, into pod. Simple. You get 1 point for every ball every time you score. Now, in the show, I don't know, help me on the comments, Gladiators fans, because I don't remember this and I should. Do they double the points every time you scored in later rounds? Because they don't do that in the game. That's why I brought it up in the Super Nintendo version. And again, the music is not from the show. It's their own original composition, which isn't really that good. Should have gotten Bill Conti to do the music for the game, too. But the stadium looks the same as it does on the SNES. And you know what? I don't mind that. Little continuity, I guess is the word. Similarity, there we go. In games, that could be a good thing. It definitely is here. Everything looks like it does in the show. That's basically what I'm going to say about the graphics. Powerball is one of my favorite events. Basically, it's the same as on the SNES. Grab the ball with B, apply the stiff arm with B, and you put it in the pods. 1 point on the sides, 2 points if you get it in the center. A little tougher on the Genesis version, I feel, because I feel like it runs faster on the Genesis. I don't know why they did this, but they did it. Makes it tougher to score. I can ring up about 14 on the SNES score. Well, this one, it's tougher to score, therefore not as many points. And it feels like the Gladiators get to you a lot sooner. By the way, you're always in blue if you're player 1. Gladiators are always in gray unless it's the joust, and it shows the uniforms up close here. This and the Super Nintendo version are based on based on Season 3. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to remember what the buttons are for the Eliminator here. Okay, so it's going to be A and Y if you're on a 6-button Genesis controller, or A and C if you're on the regular 3-button controllers. I'd honestly suggest using a 6-button controller. Actually, this is one of those games that work better on the 3-button. The Eliminator functions like it should. Good for that. Well, this is basically get from point A to point B before your opponent does. We fell in the pit, so we're going to lose some time there. Or some points, actually. And I let go a little too soon. That's not a penalty, but it could bite me in the butt later. Knocking down the hurdles is also a good way to get a penalty. But we got the free lane, so it helped us out. And basically, the game's going to cycle around every different round that you win. You lose, you're gone. So, American Gladiators series for the SNES and Genesis. Pass or play. You know what I'm going to say. It's American Gladiators. You play them both. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for another Pass or Play. This has been Riveting Wheel 22, reminding you to like, comment, subscribe, and catch me on Twitter if you want to. Bye-bye, everyone.